We begin to open the book. Book 1, the Book of Beginnings, Canto 2, the issue. Book 1, the Book of Beginnings, Canto 2, the issue. Page number 15, the first line from page number 15. Her mind, a sea of white sincerity. Her mind, a sea of white sincerity. Passionate in flow, had not one turbid wave. Her mind, a sea of white sincerity. Passionate in flow, had not one turbid wave. Her mind, a sea of white sincerity, passionate in flow, had not one turbid wave. Her mind, a sea of white sincerity, passionate in flow, had not one turbid wave. Today we began with experiencing this white sea as Ganga, as the rivers of Ganga, passing through all parts of our being and body, as visualizing and feeling the sea of white sincerity all around us. And this sea of white sincerity enters as the sacred waters of the Ganga inside our minds, as our mind becomes to become vast, endless, wide and expanded. Many times we tend to overthink and we remain in the small bubble of our minds. Much of our energy is concentrated above the neck, in the portion of our heads. We tend to think, and many times just mindlessly recycle old thoughts and ways of thinking, old patterns of thinking. And we keep thinking old thoughts again and again. And this causes illness, this causes stale waters. But when the sea of white sincerity enters into our minds, it becomes vast, infinite, universal, and endless, without a single cloud, like a clear blue sky. Our minds, our mind is quiet, silent, open, receptive to the divine wisdom. We refuse to think old thoughts and patterns of thinking. We open our minds to the sea of white sincerity. Why sincerity? Sincerity, it is because one must truly will, not just wishfully think, but one must truly will to receive the divine wisdom in one's mind and permit no other thought. We are very good with fooling ourselves. We are very good with telling ourselves stories. Stories that keeps us locked into the past. Stories that make us anxious about the future. Stories that do not let us embrace our purity and our power. Whether these stories come from what the society has told us or from what we heard from our elders when we were young, it does not matter. It does not help carrying those stories and patterns into the future. Our minds must be empty of ourselves, empty of our personalities, empty of who we think we are. Only if we can be empty, that Krishna can play us as a divine flute. And thus sincerity. Somewhere Mother says, you must truly will it with all of your might and heart and soul. And if you truly will it, it will happen. Mere infertile, positive thinking, wishful thinking is not equivalent to a living, breathing aspiration of your soul. And that is the sea of white sincerity, which is the prerequisite for opening and receiving the showers of the grace divine. Her mind a sea of white sincerity, absolutely immaculate, undisturbed, unwilling to entertain the patterns from the past, unwilling to carry yesterday's hurt into tomorrow's future. Passionate in flow, had not one turbid wave. Another misunderstanding that many times we have, we feel anything which is silent, anything which is white, anything which is sincere and pure cannot be passionate and intense, and necessarily all passion has to be red and black and full of mixtures with impurities. That need not be the case. The messengers of gods can be at once pure and passionate, white and passionate, pure and powerful, white and powerful. Passionate in flow and yet does not have one turbid wave. Passion does not require the ordinary ups and downs of life. It can be silent, quiet, vast and peaceful, without one turbid wave, without one distorted thought, without one distorted feeling. Her mind a sea of white sincerity, passionate in flow, had not one turbid wave. Her mind a sea of white sincerity, passionate in flow, had not one turbid wave. Ardent was her self-poised, unstumbling will. Her mind a sea of white sincerity, passionate in flow, had not one turbid wave.